There we go, thank you. Before we begin our service today, we acknowledge that we are gathering upon the homeland of the Western Abenaki. We express gratitude for their traditional and ongoing stewardship of the lands and waters, and we offer respect to their elders, both past and present. Spring equinox arrived Friday morning. The Abenaki word, Welesi means good arrival of spring. Let us remember that the rhythms of the seasons bind us all together. Good morning. I'm Tony Whitty, your worship associate this morning. My pronouns are he and him. On behalf of the entire worship team, I am delighted to welcome all of you, those of you in the sanctuary, and those of you watching the live stream. We deeply appreciate your presence and fellowship as part of our beloved Unitarian Church of Montpelier. For 160 years, this church has been a sanctuary for those seeking spiritual sustenance as well as peace and justice in the world. With you, we continue on that path. It's always a pleasure to have newcomers and guests join us for worship. If this is your first or second time visiting and you wish to do so, you are invited to stand or wave your hand so we may offer you a special welcome. Thank you. We are glad you are here. Any of you who are newcomers to our congregation are invited to fill out our welcome form available at the hospitality table in the vestry during coffee hour so that we can connect with you and welcome you more fully. Now we can all join in the welcoming by taking a few moments to turn to your neighbors in the pews and share a few words of greeting. Thank you for sharing these warm greetings. And you are invited to continue your conversation after the service during coffee hour. Please know that we have hearing assist devices available on the table at the rear of the sanctuary, and you can also listen to and watch the service in the fireplace room should you need to leave the sanctuary for any reason. A member of our lay pastoral care ministry team is available in the sanctuary after the service if you have a personal concern and would like to share more deeply. This morning, our lay pastoral caregiver is Mary Jane Olson. Thank you. And now let's take a deep breath, make sure our cell phones are silenced, and enter more deeply into our time of worship with the prelude. Germaine Taillefer was the only female member of the French composer group known as Les Six, active in Paris in the 1900s. She studied at the Paris Conservatory, where she won several prizes and developed her unique musical style. The piece we're going to hear today was written in 1913.
Words this morning are by Gretchen Haley. Though you have been warned and given plenty of explanations, reasons to do otherwise, you have persisted. To claim a life of joy and justice, to carve out this time, this space for the renewal of your own heart. Despite all the reasons, the resistance fighting for your attention, luring you towards fear, you persist to practice gratitude for this day, this life that has been given, this chance to begin again. And so let us gather that we might offer one another courage, strength, healing, hope, and this promise to persist in kindness, persevere in compassion, and prevail in a life that is for more than ourselves. Come, let us worship together. And please rise and body your spirit for our opening hymn, number 211 in the Gray Hymnal. We are climbing Jacob's Ladder.
Now, light the chalice, symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. This morning, we welcome Emily A. Seifert, a member of our board, to light the chalice. We light this flame, an enduring symbol of our collective commitment to lead with truth and compassion. Now let's join our voices in saying these words of affirmation adopted from L. Griswold Williams. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant.
Hello, there we go. All right, great. I'd love to invite anyone up who would like to come up for the Time for All Ages and get a closer look at the story we'll be reading today, What the Road Said. So for anyone who would like to come up, now is the time to do so. All right, welcome everyone. Come on up. Hi, Phoebe. All right. Yay. All right, hello everyone. See a few more people coming up. Yeah. All right. Great. Thanks. All right, as we get started and settled here, I have a question for you all. Can you think of a time that you decided to keep going and keep trying something, even though it might take a long time and it might feel difficult and challenging? So I'm going to give everybody a couple seconds here to think about a time that something was hard and you kept trying. Abe, you want to start us off? No? Okay. If you think about it, raise your hand again, okay? All right. Yeah, Adeline.
Learning how to make the loops on knitting needles to start knitting, and also crocheting.
That can be really, really tricky. All right. Any other things that people have tried that have taken a while and you had to keep trying? Can you think of anything else? Maybe raise your hand if you have learned how to ride a bike. Oh, yeah. And keep your hand raised if you fell off once or twice in the process. Yeah, okay. Somehow more hands went up there. I'm not sure how. All right, maybe they just got higher. Learning to ski is another thing, trying a sport, maybe building a fort. Anybody build a fort where it keeps falling down and you have to keep putting it back up? All right, maybe growing a plant from a seed, that can be that can require a lot of trying. And maybe even reading a long, really, really long book or a long series of books, that can take a long time. Yeah, so reading a series can take a lot of persistence. So these are all wonderful examples of having resolve. So resolve is this month's worship theme. And it means when we decide that something really matters and we keep trying at it, even if it's long, even if it's difficult. And so today, I'm going to share this children's book, which I love. This is called What the Road Said. And the thing that I love about it is it's such a great message for both children and adults alike. And it's by Cleo Wade, and it's illustrated by Lucy de Moyencourt. And Clara is going to help here and hold it up as we go. So if you want to maybe hold it that way, and then I'll sit a little bit lower to read here. Okay. And it should be up on the slides as well, if you would like to follow along that way. All right. Have you ever wanted to go in a different direction? Have you ever wondered if there was something more, something out there, something just different? I did too. Then one day, I was walking my usual way home when out of nowhere, for no reason at all, almost as if it were magic, a road appeared. I could not believe my eyes. So I walked over to it and I said to the road, "Where do you lead?" The road said, "Be a leader and find out." "How do I start?" I asked the road. The road smiled and said, you have already started. Well, what happens when I get there? We have just begun, said the road. Do not skip straight to the ending. Enjoy the beginning and the middle too. Which way do I go? That is your choice to make, said the road. But what if I go the wrong way? The road curved a little, almost as if it was giving me a hug, and said, do not worry. Sometimes we go the wrong way on our way to the right way. What if I get scared? That is okay. You are brave, said the road. But what does it mean to be brave? I asked. The road guided me through a very gloomy forest. Even though I was frightened, I trusted the road. And as I took one step and then another step after that, the road gently whispered, being brave is when you are afraid of doing something, but you do it anyway. Do not let what scares you keep you from continuing on your path. Will I always move forward? Not always, said the road. Why not? Because sometimes you will stumble backward, and sometimes you will stand still. What if I fall? Everyone falls at some point, said the road, but I will always be there when you land. What if I get lost? There may be some days that feel long and dark, said the road, but I promise that no matter what, I will give you the evening stars and the morning sun to light your way. What if I grow weary or get hurt? I will give you trees of all shapes and sizes to shelter you when you need to rest and heal, said the road. What if I get lonely? You are never alone, said the road. No, yeah, next page. What if I change? Come with me, said the road. And as I moved forward, the road introduced me to a caterpillar and a family of seeds. We did not stay long. The road began taking me on a journey through the seasons. I watched the summer turn to fall and fall turn to winter, and as spring was upon us, I realized we had gone in one big, beautiful circle. I looked down and found I was standing in front of the caterpillar and the seeds once more. Only the caterpillar was no longer a caterpillar, and the seeds had turned to flowers of every color, swaying in the sun. The road then raised me up and said, all things grow and change. That is the magic of being alive. You too will find your wings. You too will bloom. No living thing is meant to stay the same. What if I need help on my journey? Ask your fellow travelers along the way. What if they are mean to me? Lead them to kindness, said the road. How? By being kind. What if they want to fight? Lead them to peace, said the road. But how do I lead them to peace? By listening to their stories, telling them yours, and reminding them that you are all on this journey together. What if the world around us is filled with hate? Lead it to love. How? By sharing the power of your love with it, said the road. What if something unexpected happens? Keep going. What if there are mountains that feel too tall to climb? What if there are rivers that feel too wide to cross? What if I get my heart broken? What if I feel stuck? What if giving up is easier? And then I thought we could say this part together. So the road says keep going 4 times. So on the count of 3, can we all say keep going together 4 times, all right? 1, 2, 3. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Nice. What if I can't do it? You can, said the road, because you have come. Oh, how do you know? Because you have come this far, said the road. The next page. I said to the road, "Where do you lead?" The road said, "Be a leader and find out." The end. Yeah, thank you. So, one of the things, or I guess, do you think the main thing that the road was saying in the story? And if you know the answer, you could just say it out loud, or if you have an answer. Well, keep going. Yeah, keep going, keep going. And what I love about this book is that it encourages us to trust in something larger than ourselves. And so the next time you feel something that's challenging or going through something that's challenging, listen and see if you can hear that voice inside yourself that the road has, because it will always encourage you. And maybe you could say it with me 4 times to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Nice. And that's what resolve is, our ability to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, so today in our children's chapel and at middle school youth group programming, we have a couple things going on that I'd love to share with you all, and then we will head on our way. So in children's chapel, we'll be exiting through this door here, and we'll be exploring the wonder question: what helps you keep going? And so we'll have all different ways to explore this through art, movement, free play. And then the middle school youth group will exit through the back door, and they'll be continuing to work on their service project for animal welfare and animal care. And at the end of our time together, which will be about 11:15, adults can pick up children downstairs in the room between the school street exit and the vestry, and then youth will meet up with their adults in coffee hour. And if this is your first time here today, please come with us to fill out a registration form, and then adults can either stay with their child or return to service afterwards. All right, and now we will sing the children out as we go.
Now, Katie Spring will share some important words about our pledge drive.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Katie. I am a board member here at UCM, and I'm going to give you a brief update about the pledge drive. But first, I want to frame the pledge drive with a poem that I wrote called Careful/Careful. It goes like this. The English language and its meanings have it all backwards. Like how the dictionary says careful means to be cautious, how it says being thoughtful is to consider the needs of others as if the mind is the only way. The dictionary doesn't know that care is what breaks us open. This language would have me fill my head, though I am already so crammed with thoughts and they do nothing to calm the pulse. Let me spill out instead. Let me be full up with care that overflows and runs into the breaking, beating heart. Care that says, here, I'm full, enough to share with you. So, thanks. Back in 2019, thank you. That's nice. Back in 2019, care is what drew me to UCM. I was feeling pretty overwhelmed and alone, wondering what my own individual actions by myself could do around things like climate change and politics. And I started looking for other people who took action to create a more loving world. At some point, I realized there was a contingent of UCM members at every rally and protest I went to, and I thought, I'm going to check this place out. So the first time I came to a service, I sat somewhere in the back over there, kind of near Jared, and I felt like I could just really sit there and rest and be held in a way that I'd been really yearning for. At a time when it felt like so much was falling apart, here was this place that people gathered and spoke with honesty and tenderness and possibility. A place where big questions could be asked without the assumption of an immediate answer, but with the knowing that none of us are alone in the seeking. At UCM, I found a congregation overflowing with care that doesn't turn away from the breaking, beating heart. And over the years, that care has grown and continues to reach not only the people here, but the wider community as well. So thank you all. Thanks for being part of that. There are so many ways we express care, and one of them is through the annual pledge drive, which is happening now through April 12th. Our financial goal this year for the pledge drive is $394,000, and as of this morning, we've recorded 29 pledges totaling $93,728, which is almost a quarter of the way there, which is great in the first week. So thank you to everyone who has already pledged. And if you're new to pledging or you haven't pledged yet, we encourage you to turn in your pledge packet, and if you're able to, raise your pledge by 3 to 5% this year. The pledge drive also includes a community art making project, and everyone here, especially children and youth, are invited to add to the UCM collage during coffee hour. You can join Carolyn Shapiro in this creative expression of the UCM community after service today downstairs. And finally, I want to highlight the Joy in Motion party and silent art auction. So please save the date for the evening of Friday, April 17th, and join us at Chapel Hall on College Street. This is a new thing we're very excited about, and it's a chance to celebrate our UCM community and the work that we do alongside our partners, dance to a live swing band, and generally eat and drink and be merry. So if you're an artist or if you have a special piece in your collection that you're willing to donate to the art auction, you can either follow the link in this week's e-news or visit the table downstairs with a big sign that says "Got Art." So from pledging to volunteering to making art, thank you all for the ways that you offer care and help make our community stronger.
Thank you, Katie. It is a joy to be part of such an engaged community. Here is some of what's happening now. If you're curious about Unitarian Universalism and what our faith tradition is all about, please join us for UU History and Theology this Wednesday, March 25th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. in the Children's Chapel. Find more information about this and additional pathways to membership at the welcome table in the vestry during coffee hour. If you've been traveling on your pathway toward membership and would like to participate in the new Member Sunday this spring, that will be Sunday, April 12th, RSVP at the welcome table. Get ready to take part in what organizers hope will be a historic day of demonstrating for democracy. Kick things off with our community sign-making party on Friday at 4 to 6 p.m. in the vestry. All ages and families are welcome. On Saturday, meet up on the church lawn between 11:15 and 11:30 a.m. to walk over and join the Solidarity Singers, who will be singing from 11:30 to noon. Or look to other UCM friends between 11:30 and 11:45 to head over for the 12 p.m. start time. And please find Reverend Joan if you'd like to be part of the bell ringing team so we can join other Montpelier churches in ringing out for freedom. There is a lot more going on in our community, so please consult the weekly e-news, which is carefully updated each week for its Friday morning publication. The act of giving is a spiritual practice as important as any other element in our shared time of worship. Each month, through the UCM Community Pouch Program, we share part of our collection with an important church fund or a community organization aligned with our values. This month's Community Pouch recipient is Good Beginnings of Central Vermont. Good Beginnings provides support to new parents, including free weekly home visits by trained volunteers. Half of our cash offerings will go to our pouch recipient. The other half will directly support the mission and ministry of this congregation. You can find the offering pouches at the end of the pews on the side aisles, and please pass them toward the center aisle. We are grateful to each and every one of you for your generosity in its many forms. Your offering will now gratefully be received. Our choir offering today is based on a hymn written by Norbert Capek while at the Dachau concentration camp. Capek was the founder of the modern Unitarian Church in Czechoslovakia. In 1939, he was invited to come live in the United States, but wished to remain in solidarity in Europe, where he was later arrested by the Gestapo and then died in the concentration camp.
I agree with Benji. Whoa, indeed. Thank you, choir, and to Danya and Sarah for arranging, bringing new life to that old hymn and helping us feel it in a new way. I invite us to join now in a time of meditation and prayer. There's something about this snowing morning that is having me feel just kind of like, is anyone else feeling that way maybe? So maybe just let yourself be in that. Just be where you are. Allowing yourself to be as relaxed as you need to be, to notice where you might still be holding some tension. Maybe your heart's racing a little bit and you don't quite know why. Whatever it is, just be with it. As we gather with gratitude for this life, for this chance to be together in community, let us hold in our hearts those among us who are in pain from loneliness, from lack of shelter, from loss. Let us offer compassion to ourselves and grace to one another as we journey together facing the confounding, unnerving realities that are before us. In these times of change, the winds around us stir. They shake our limbs, reminding us that we can sway and bend and still remain rooted and resilient. I pray that we might find steadiness together, like trees planted by flowing waters, grounded yet alive to movement. May our roots reach deep, drawing up the sustenance we need to continue, to keep going. As change moves through our lives, may we stay flexible and open, adapting as needed while staying true to our deepest selves. May our inner resolve remain strong, even as we bend and sway, held fast by all that tethers us to life, to one another, and to what is most real within us. And let us now share in a time of quiet meditation together. Our reading comes from a blog post written by the retired Unitarian Universalist minister, the Reverend Mike Johnson. Mike served and still lives in Maine. Life holds a strength that will not be extinguished, that will crack open the most oppressive of constraints. When I was in Tennant's Harbor a few weeks ago, I saw this spruce tree growing out of a huge boulder. Its roots were literally embedded in a crack in the rock itself. I wondered if a seed had found a tiny patch of soil within the crack, or if in fact the seed rooting had created the crack in the rock. But however it first took hold, the roots were now literally splitting the rock in two. My deepest hope is in the power of the spruce to crack the boulder, the power of the earth to restore itself, the power of the love we hold in our beating hearts. There was one more thing about the spruce. It was not alone. There were two trees growing in the crack in that boulder. Two trees, both of them might be said to be caught in the boulder, but they are not caught. They are growing strong, green, full of life and energy. They are cracking that boulder together. And so we humans, too, must not face these despairs alone, must find each other and join our strengths together. A boulder seems to be hard and unyielding. Roots seem to be gentle and soft, but the rock does yield to the tree. Remember that. Here ends the reading. There can be stretches in life where the path is unclear, or longer than we expected, or harder than we feel prepared for. Obstacles appear that just won't go away. We end up turning back, traversing the same terrain again and again. At other times, we might simply be tired. Is anyone tired? I'm kind of tired. I'll just admit, I'm pretty tired. Tired from holding so much, from making decisions, from trying to keep our balance when the world keeps tilting. Some of you are probably familiar with the story from Greek mythology about a man named Sisyphus, a king who had twice cheated death. And for this, he is condemned to spend eternity pushing a heavy boulder up a hill, only to have it roll back down each time he nears the top. Over and over again, pretty sure. No completion to the task, no final success, just the same effort repeated. In our religious tradition, we don't read this myth as a divine punishment handed down by capricious gods, though that's certainly what the story is about. But we can hold it as a mirror, one that reflects back our own struggle to live meaningfully in a world that doesn't always bend to our efforts. The story of Sisyphus may be ancient, but it speaks to modern lives, to caregivers doing the same exhausting tasks again and again, to activists who keep showing up with no guarantee of change, to anyone who has ever asked, does any of this matter? It's easy to understand why this story has such staying power, why it's endured in our consciousness. There are moments, sometimes very long seasons, when life feels uncomfortably close to that image, where the work doesn't seem to lead anywhere, The effort has to be renewed again and again, and difficult situations that we face don't resolve in the way that we hoped. I think we've all felt like this at one time or another. The conundrum for us is that for as long as we live, the boulder never really goes away. Not necessarily the seemingly fruitless effort described in the story, but the next challenge or setback or hard conversation. These are always somewhere on the road. And the question perhaps is less about how we escape the hill or that task, and more about how we meet what is in front of us. The illness that makes you tired and your brain foggy, the strained relationship with a child or a parent, the quiet loneliness that can settle in when we're going through something no one else can quite see. There are times in life when meaning isn't found in finishing or fixing or succeeding in the way that we imagined. Meaning is found in the willingness to take up what is ours to carry and to keep showing up. We keep showing up not because we're certain that it will turn out well, not because we are guaranteed a happy ending, but because something in us says, this is mine to do. Keep going. This impulse, even this desire even to keep at it, comes from within each of us. It's our inner conscience, our morality, our integrity, our sense of calling and purpose, our relationships. I've been thinking lately about how do we carry on? Even if that inner call is clear, when the way ahead feels impossibly long, what helps us take even one more step? What keeps us from giving up altogether? Like some of you, I was quite taken by the walk for peace that 19 Theravada Buddhist monks completed this past February. They began in Fort Worth, Texas in October and journeyed for 108 days, over 2,300 miles, and across 8 states. Their intention was simple: to walk mindfully, and in that act, to cultivate happiness and peace in a world that so often feels like it's in turmoil. Thousands of people followed the monks along their journey. Some traveled long distances to encounter them along the way, coming from other countries even. People followed them on their social media accounts for daily updates, and their travel companion, a dog named Aloka, even gained his own following. And what has moved me most in following along and continuing to read about their walk, what has moved me most wasn't just the miles, so that's a lot of miles, or the endurance, but the intention. They weren't walking to prove anything or to earn admiration. In a time when news of conflict and division overwhelms us, their walk felt like a soft, steady answer. Peace is made step by step, moment by moment. This message transcended political parties, state lines, age, race, class. People of all backgrounds were drawn to these monks and their walk for peace. One of the most moving images I saw was in a very small town, perhaps somewhere in the South. And as the monks came in, there was a police officer standing on the side, weeping. And that just spoke to me. Just a few weeks after beginning the walk, however, tragedy struck the group. A car accident left one of the monks, Bhante Dham Pumasan, severely injured, and the group had to stop for a few days. Sadly, the monk's leg had to be amputated. Their grief, however, didn't negate their purpose, and their sorrow didn't erase their intention. Grief and sorrow did reshape the journey. The rest of the group continued on, and after many more days on the road, they finally reached their destination of Washington, D.C. in the middle of February. Dam Pomasan's own journey of recovery continued with a 1-month hospital stay, a return to his home temple in Georgia, and life in a wheelchair. He was able to join the rest of the group at the end of the walk, and he very, very recently, within the last week, received a prosthetic leg. At the beginning of this journey, the monks knew the route that they intended, where they hoped to end up, but they didn't know all of what would happen along the way, the tragedy, but also the people who would arrive to greet them as they walked into small rural towns and big cities, and the outpouring of care and admiration. We map our lives the best we can, making plans, setting intentions, imagining how things will unfold, but rarely does life follow our carefully drawn route. The roads we are on don't all go in a straight line. The road bends, conditions change, loss enters in. And still, we are here. Still, there are choices in front of us about how we will live and how we will move through what is in front of us. We keep going. Resolve lives not in controlling the path, but in how we travel upon it. And there are moments when the long road calls not just for endurance, but for courage. Our tradition has long taught that spiritual resolve is inseparable from ethical resolve, that the way we live our morals and our values in the world matters just as much as the way that we hold those in our hearts. Mary Wynne Ashford tells a story that speaks to how we keep our spiritual and ethical resolve even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. Ashford was former president of International Physicians for the Prevention of Nuclear War, and she wrote a reflection in a book called The Impossible Will Take a Little While. This book was published a year after the start of the Iraq War, another moment of global uncertainty. In her reflection, Ashford describes a peace meeting in Honolulu where the executive director of the Manila YWCA was present, and she was asked by those gathered whether her organization played any part in the overthrow of Ferdinand Marcos, who was a dictator in the Philippines, and the election of Corazon Aquino. She replied, "Well, yes." "And what did you do?" they asked. "I lay on the road to keep the tanks from coming into the downtown, and the other women brought food and water." A simple statement, but one full of courageous action, with no certainty of success, no assurance of safety, no promise that this act would be enough, just a decision in that moment to act, to do the next right thing, to place her body in the road, to do what was hers to do. And she didn't know how history would unfold, whether the tanks would stop or keep rolling on, but she didn't act because she believed she would surely succeed. She acted because her conscience wouldn't let her do otherwise, and her community was right there beside her. This kind of resolve emerges from the sense that there is something right in front of us, maybe someone, who calls for our presence, our courage, our care. Ashford puts it this way: Whether or not we succeed in pushing the rock up the hill, there is meaning in the journey, not in the hope that one time we'll be able to shed the rock forever and live in a perfect world. In the end, we stay the course in our everyday actions, shouldering the burden, working in community, speaking truth to power, and refusing to join forces with pestilence. Resolve shows up in how we live together, what we refuse to normalize, how we respond to what love requires of us. Our lives are bound up with one another. The burdens we carry are different, but here we are on the road together. Resolve doesn't ask us to be heroic. It just asks us to be faithful to the call to love one another. Together, we might find that the boulder in the path need not be moved alone, but can be cracked open by the will of life to find another way, possibility emerging in the most unlikely place. We may not know where we are going, but we do know that we do not journey alone. May we continue on with courage. May we grow our patience. May we act with compassion. And may we find the resolve to take that next step, to do that next right thing. So may it be. I'll invite us to join in our closing hymn now. It's in the Teal Hymnal, number 1020, Wo Ya Ya. Please rise and body your spirit.
Close, we extinguish the chalice and carry within each of us its healing flame, the warmth of community, and the spark of hope into the days and the week ahead. Please join me now in our unison mission statement. We welcome all as we build a loving community to nurture each person's spiritual journey, serve human need, and protect the earth, our home.
May the long road before us be met with steady hearts and willing spirits, may we carry one another's burdens and share one another's joys. And as we go from here, may we find strength in community, clarity in purpose, and resolve enough for today. Go in peace. And we conclude our service with the postlude.
If you wanna know where I'm going, oh so soon.
If anybody asks you,
Yo, where you going?
where I'm going, where I'm going soon,
Let's tell.
I'm going up yonder,
I'm
going up yonder, we're going up yonder to be with my Lord. Going up yonder, we're going up yonder, I'm going up yonder to be with my Lord.
I can take the pain, the heartaches it brings, the comforts in knowing I'll soon be gone. Tell it, Rosemary.
As God gives me grace, I'll run this race,
Run this race
until I see Creator
Oh,
face to face.
Get up, boys, get up, get up.
We're going up
yonder. Oh yeah, yeah, I'm going up yonder. Yes, I'm going up yonder to
be with my Lord.
Oh yeah, yeah, here we go. I'm going up yonder. I'm going up yonder.
Going up
I'm
yonder.
going up yonder to be with my Lord. Say it again, say it again, say it again. I'm going up yonder.
Going up. We're
Going up yonder. I'm going up yonder. I'm going up, I'm going up, I'm going up. Yeah, I'm going up. Are you going up? Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be